is about this girl who whose mother is her mom was like in a group of 4 in high school, and she is the only one that wasn't murdered by a serial killer. And then in the present day, the serial killer kills her mom as an adult. So she accidentally goes back in time and tries to stop the serial killer from killing anyone, so that way he doesn't kill her mom.
Well, wait a second. That time travel element really just came out of nowhere. How does she go back in time?
So her friend is there. It's like the science fair, and her friend is making a time machine, and she's like, "I think I can get it to work." And everybody's like, "Okay." And then by accident, she
oh, I love that.
she goes back in time.
Wait, so how old is she in the movie?
16. She's in high school.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. What's the actor's name again?
Kiernan Shipka.
Wait, who's the one you're in love with?
Kiernan Shipka. Oh, Olivia Holt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Olivia Holt is the younger version of her mom.
Oh.
Who is played by Julie Bowen.
Oh, okay.
Who I'm also in love with.
Wow.
Julie, if you're seeing this. Anyway.
Which one's Julie? I don't know who Julie Bowen is, actually.
She's Ty Burrell's wife on Modern Family.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, she's amazing.
She's from Baltimore, Maryland.
She's astounding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. She's great. She was I saw this interview with her I saw this interview with Nahnatchka Khan, who's the director. She's done some episodes of Fresh Off the Boat, and she did Always Be My Maybe. And she was talking about how Julie Bowen was like, I want to do all my own stunts. I want to do my stunts. So she did like training to do her stunts.
Whoa.
And the one stunt she wouldn't do, she has to be thrown onto a ceramic tabletop. And she was like, I don't want to be hurt that bad. And they were like, okay. And I believe Nahnatchka Khan said that she was like, I don't want to be a diva, and everyone was like, you're not being a diva. That's a reasonable thing to not want to do.
Yeah, that's like, wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool attitude. I aspire to do stunts.
I love when actors do their own stunts.
Yeah, I think that's very cool.
I mean, I also think that stunt people should get a lot more recognition. I think
it's also like so hard.
Yeah.
And me just being like, I want to do stunts is disrespectful.
I like the idea of doing my own stunts, and also I don't want to get horribly hurt.
Yeah, it's like, I forget who was telling me this, but they were like, yeah, no movie, no play is worth death.
Well,
or
yeah,
like
death.
Injury, you know.
Injury, I can, it's art, baby.
He's like, I'm down.
I don't want to be horribly hurt, but I mean, that's just my personal preference. I think like Tom Cruise is fine being hurt. I think that's totally fine. I wouldn't. If everybody's consenting to that.
Right, yeah, and then I will say, like, the actor being like, I'm down to get hurt and, like, not have somebody else get hurt, I do think that is cool. Like, okay, yeah, you're putting your shit on the line.
That's the part where I definitely feel like stunt actors should get a lot more recognition because it's essentially like they're the collateral damage. Yeah. And if they get hurt, they'll just get somebody else to get hurt. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, yeah, that's so sad. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the Harry Potter one. That shit's just so sad.
The Harry Potter one. Oh, the guy that died on Harry Potter?
Well, oh, shit. He died?
Who died on the...
Well, I thought Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double, like, got paralyzed.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah.
I know it was a guy on Deadpool, I think, that died. Deadpool 2.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah. Which I just think is so fucked up.
Bro, yeah, how are you just advertising with a straight face?
Yeah.
When that shit goes down?
Yeah.
Is there like an in memoriam or anything at the end?
I haven't seen it since it came out. I don't remember.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I feel like no. Jesus. Unless it's at the very end of the credits.
That's fucking awkward. And just, what the fuck? Oh, man. Yeah, people dying to make a movie. Rough.
If it's an accident, it's like, yeah. But you have these people that are supposed to be able to do that. Not die, but
Yeah.
That's always the risk.
But yeah, but I feel like especially when it's an accident, you need to there needs to be some. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is it Harold Ramis?
Oh, John Landis.
John Landis.
The fucking helicopter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
with the
that's
kids,
fucking
right?
bullshit. Yeah.
Oh my god, that is unbelievable. And that was for the Twilight Zone movie, right? Which is like an anthology series.
Yeah.
So he's making a short film.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That is... Yeah, it was 2 children, right?
It was 2 children and an adult, yeah.
That's awful.
We
are really starting this episode.
We do this every time.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But anyway.
But Totally Killer's great.
Totally Killer's great. If there was a movie you could go back in time to be a part of.
Be a part of.
And you're in it. You're in the principal cast.
What?
And you're beloved for this role. But in order to do that, you have to lose an arm.
What?
Which what movie is worth? Or let's say not. You don't have to lose a limb, but you have to sustain a horrible injury that it's a year of recovery. Which movie is worth it?
I don't know. What's my injury? Is it really bad?
Let's say it's a
year of recovery.
Yeah, it's a year. Let's say it's a broken leg. You can't walk for a year.
Oh, jeez.
But you will be able to walk subsequently.
Sure.
It's not permanent.
Here's the thing. I've never broken a bone.
Same.
So the idea, obviously, oh my goodness, fingers crossed. I don't mean an adult with a broken arm. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
I mean, it's not embarrassing, but it just sucks.
I'd be my first thought was oh man, I don't want everybody to see me break my leg. But that's just how my mind is anyway.
That's really funny.
But so obviously because I haven't experienced it, I imagine that the pain will be 100 times worse than it probably is. You know what I mean? I know having a broken limb is painful, but I also have no idea the concept. You know what I mean? So even the idea of a broken leg, it's not even necessarily the fact that I won't walk again. It's that I don't even know how bad it'll hurt. So what movie is worth that? I don't know. I just said I didn't want to be injured. Jeez, I don't know. Well, did you have one?
Yeah, I don't know. To be in the principal cast.
I also think that it could be I think about this with old Hollywood actors a lot, where they were really popular in this role, and then they got sick and never acted again, and I think that's so tragic. And
yeah, that is sad.
you know, I've read about a lot of actresses who had their faces disfigured.
Whoa,
which is crazy. Not a lot, but 3, which is it's that whole thing. It's crazy that it happened.
How did they
twice.
get disfigured?
This one woman was in a car accident. But also it's kind of disfigured in the sense that probably what Tina Fey has a scar on her face. They couldn't work again, but it wasn't they needed horrible surgery or something like that.
Yeah. That's so sad.
My grandfather, have I told you about the time my grandfather was in a car accident?
No.
He was in a car accident. It was really bad. And for months afterwards, glass would fall out of his face. Yeah. Not pour out, but every once in a while, just a little piece of glass would fall out of his face. Isn't that crazy?
That is unbelievable. Did he have scarring all over, or?
No, not horrible anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
But his body's just naturally pushing.
Yeah,
that is insane. I remember. I'm assuming it must have been in driver's ed, but I remember seeing old footage of old car accidents, and back then it was just glass. The glass that's on my windows, right? And whereas now, the glass they use crumbles very specifically, and I don't think there are any sharp edges when the latest. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's this plexiglass material stuff.
Yeah,
but back then it was just a glass jar.
Yeah,
smashing into your face.
Yeah,
and yeah, people's faces would be all cut up, and yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, ugh. My mom. I don't know if you did this. Because she was talking about it was in her textbook at nursing school. They'd go back to old, like, famous medical cases and be like, could we save them with today's medicine?
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. I wish my nursing school did that because that
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
I remember the three that she could remember that she told me that I always think about are Abe Lincoln, which is my favorite one because he wasn't even shot in the head. Like, the bullet didn't even enter his skull. It just grazed his ear, basically. And he basically died from the fact that a doctor couldn't get to him in time. Yeah.
Wait, so he just like bled out?
Yeah, it was like really gross infection, and he bled out and all that kind of stuff. Like, because he lived for a day after he was shot.
Jesus Christ.
And then,
John Wilkes Booth, you couldn't squeeze off one more.
friggin' idiot.
Yeah, jeez.
I love the John Wilkes Booth thing because a big thing that recontextualized it for me was I just recently saw this post where they were talking about how John Wilkes Booth was an actor who was moderately famous, and his older brother was more famous than he was, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill the president." And so they were saying it would be like if Bill Skarsgård killed Joe Biden or something. So I love that aspect.
It's so funny that you went for Skarsgård. Or they went for Skarsgård. I immediately went for Beau Bridges.
Yeah, it's probably more like Beau Bridges.
Like,
I'd go see Beau Bridges in a play, but I'd definitely see Jeff Bridges in a play.
he's part of the theater company I do work with sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so random.
I think he's a good actor.
I think he's just like at this point he just like pays his dues as
I
like
see.
a tax write off, I'm sure. But there's pictures of him all over. He's like their one claim to fame. That's not
fun.
two. I think Betty Garrett. No,
I don't know.
some Betty, a famous Betty, is also
Betty Ford.
No, I don't remember.
Betty Ford is Gerald Ford's wife. I don't think it was her.
That's in the president.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's why I said Betty Ford.
Thing. Okay. I don't know anything about the presidents really. I think I could name 5.
You could name 5 presidents.
Obama.
Yeah, I mean, you've
Trump.
lived through probably 5 presidents.
Oh Jesus, how many have I lived through? Let's
I don't
find
know.
out. I was born
You
in
definitely lived through 4. 5. You lived through 5.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was born in 90.
Yeah,
Was Bush Senior?
I believe Bush Senior would have been in your lifetime.
Wow. So
You might
Bush
even
Sen-
hit like the last little bit of Clinton, if you you might have, because I think Clinton went to like 92.
No. Bill Clinton was in the 90s.
Okay, so
Like,
then it
full
wasn't.
stop.
Then it wasn't Bush Senior. It would have been Bill Clinton.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I think Senior was before Clinton.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But that's what I think he was. So
Bush
I think
Senior?
yeah. Bush, so we could look this up, but yeah. So
I can't.
Bush Senior, Clinton, Bush Jr. Insane.
W.
That's fucking crazy. That's just. Oh my god, I can't. It's not supposed to be like a monarchy thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not supposed to be like a familiar. Like that's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
But it is. That's so annoying. So yeah, Bush fucking Senior, and then Clinton, and then Bush Jr., and then Obama, and then Trump, and now Biden 6.
Wow.
Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt,
Reservoir.
Theodore Reservoir, Franklin Delano Roosevelt,
Mm-hmm.
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. Now that I say his
yeah,
name.
yeah. Andrew Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
who was like fucked up.
Mm-hmm. He did the Trail of Tears.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
A president was like, do that?
Yeah. Andrew Jackson, Andrew Jackson is probably like the worst president we've ever had.
That's like a Hitler move.
Absolutely it was. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There are some big ones that not as far as opinions of the president. I'm just waiting for you to name them because there's like some big ones.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Did I say that
you said
already?
him already.
Reagan.
Reagan,
An actor.
an actor,
Not an assassin. Just a president.
right? Just a president, an actor, and then a president.
John Wilkes Booth is the assassin we just talked about.
Right.
John Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Franklin. infamously not a president.
Infamously not a president, as well as Alexander Hamilton.
And Colin Powell.
Yeah. Wait, did you think Colin Powell was a president? Who said that?
No. It was the last time we talked about
Is that
Colin
what
Powell, and I was like, did you know?
Oh, yes.
He like
Sorry.
didn't want to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think is badass.
And Colin Powell.
There's like Garfield.
Yeah.
What's his first name? It's not Andrew.
No, it's like. No, it's not. I was like, Andrew Garfield sounds familiar.
Oh,
for some
that's
reason.
an actor.
That's the actor. John Garfield?
I don't know.
I think it's John Garfield. James Garfield? James Garfield. His name is James Garfield.
James Garfield. There's another one that's like Reagan.
Yeah. I know exactly who you're thinking of.
Wait,
I love this.
this is great. Wait, Bush Senior, Reagan.
I'm not making fun of you. I find it. I'm finding it very interesting. Like your train of thought. I like this.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know a lot about the presidents, but I did go through like a president's phase. Where I was just
that's
obsessively researching them. Yeah.
Wow. I bet that was really depressing, actually.
Yeah. They're all worse than you possibly could even imagine. Except the one good one who I really like, but you haven't named him yet, so I'm gonna wait.
Oh,
There's one good one. He was so good that people in retrospect and at the time like thought he was a fucking idiot because he was like actually a good person.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Who is it?
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Carter was like
in the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
Before Reagan.
Yes. I believe so. The order is sketchy for me. It's hard for me.
Does he have anything to do with Vietnam?
Jimmy Carter, no.
He's after.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter, his big thing was there were American hostages in somewhere. I can't remember now. Overseas, obviously. There were American hostages. And everybody was like, free the hostages. And he was like, okay, I do want to do that. And everybody was like, that means we got to like go to war with these people. And Jimmy Carter was like, no, I don't think that's what we need to do. And eventually they were freed and no one died and that whole thing. But people were very critical of the way that he approached it because apparently he took a very long time to make the decisions that he made.
Wow.
But basically it was because he wanted to have the least fallout as possible.
That's amazing.
It was great.
That's incredible. What the fuck?
There's a lot of studies in retrospect done on the political climate and how there was a lot of sabotage involved in keeping him out of office and like things like that.
So he didn't get a second term?
No.
Oh my God, that's depressing.
Yeah.
He actively avoided war. That's badass.
I think he's a great guy.
Fuck, dude. Fuck. That's so depressing.
And I remember when I was growing up, he was the big spokesperson for Habitats for Humanity. Yeah, Habitats for Humanity, yeah.
Rest in peace. So he's dead.
He's not dead.
Oh, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
How old is he?
Old.
Is
old. He's very old and he has brain cancer and he's still kicking.
Oh, shit. He's brain cancer.
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
But he's old. I think he's like in his 90s.
Only 15 years older than Biden? Right?
Right.
Potentially.
However old they both are. Can I say one that you didn't name that I think is really funny?
Yeah.
JFK.
Oh.
John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Jr.
I know that one.
John F. Kennedy.
Sure.
I know you know.
That one.
I know you know more than you named. I just thought that was really funny. Like JFK
actually,
I
think that might be it. What I named
was Nixon, who you were thinking of.
Oh, Nixon. Yep. Yeah. He's like a Reagan guy.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, he was bad.
He wouldn't have said anything about AIDS, probably.
Given the chance, he probably would have been like, fake.
That shit. When I first read about that's just so insane.
Yeah.
Like, just to not talk about it.
Yeah. The AIDS epidemic as a whole across all of like Western society really got fucking butchered. It's crazy. I was talking to my mom. She didn't know about PrEP. And I was telling her about it, and she like started sobbing because she was like, I saw so many people die.
Yeah.
And now the idea that they could live as long as somebody who didn't have AIDS,
Yeah.
in her lifetime especially, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, man. It is wild. Like, it takes like some effort for me to like realize how awful that was.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, like, yeah, an AIDS diagnosis, I mean, it sucks, but it's not going to kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like if now somebody got chlamydia and then was dead in like 2 months. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so terrible. God damn. Well,
wait, can I share some more president's things?
Oh, sure, please. Oh my God, yeah.
This isn't really a president thing, but I find it so funny. I tell it as often as I can. So James Madison, he was a president.
Okay.
I believe. Oh my goodness, he might have been like the 5th or 6th president. He was very early on. Also a little cheat sheet. John Adams, and then his son. So John Adams was 2nd president, and then John Quincy Adams was 4th president. So there you go. There's another one. I was thinking that it was. I wonder in like the 1700s where people were like, ugh, his son? This is stupid.
Yeah, it's like it's not working.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck.
James Madison. So the reason that the White House is now in Washington, D.C. is that where it was before, which I can't remember, burned down. There was a huge fire.
Oh, yeah, it was in New York.
New York, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you know that Dolly Madison, James Madison's wife, the first lady, ran into the burning White House, the burning building, to save that Rembrandt portrait of George Washington?
I hate that, actually.
You're like, it should have burned.
You know, I thought you were gonna say she saved a life.
No. I mean, nobody else was in. I don't think anybody died. It was just.
Of George Washington?
Yeah.
She's just really wet for George Washington.
I mean, I guess probably at that time, he might have even still been alive. Because that's only, 20 years?
I don't know why that.
It bothers you?
That like makes me mad.
I think it's so funny.
She just has a mad crush on George.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I found out.
Wait, is that your fun fact?
Yeah. I mean, I could keep going, but I think that's really funny.
Wait, is that the Battle of 1812?
No.
What the hell is that?
God, I used to know. I used to be a real U.S. history buff. Now I hyper fixated on the Civil War, which is a lot of fun.
That's the turning point.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
Fuck.
The Civil War just so many layers to peel back.
I don't know anything about it except Abe Lincoln, slavery, and Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant. Yeah, he was president after George Washington. He was not George Washington. Abraham Lincoln.
And he was like a young gun. He was like at risk. They were like, should this guy be the general?
Yeah.
And then he proved himself? Question mark.
Yeah, he was like a fucking G. I mean, he probably wasn't the best guy either, but everybody was like, oh my God, what's going on? He was like, these guys are just fucking stupid. We just have to be smarter than them.
Who was the South guy?
Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah.
Ugh. Have you oh God. David Foster Wallace.
Nice. Where's his?
Also a problematic guy.
He's somewhat over.
He's not anywhere here. Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
He has this article. He has a collection of articles called "Consider the Lobster," and it's good. It is good. And I know he's problematic and shit. There's an article in there about he followed McCain on his presidential campaign trail or whatever. I think it was when he was vice president for. I can't remember. I don't remember.
Okay,
but he's basically like this guy. People have a lot of respect for him. You know, there are people who want him to be president. And David Foster Wallace, like, I get it. Like, I see it. He's charismatic. He seems to be like a natural born leader. And then he like delves into like, he was also like a prisoner of war in Vietnam.
I didn't know.
And like he doesn't have full function of his arms. He can't lift his arms.
George W. Bush? John McCain.
McCain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. That's why everybody was calling him a war hero.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he fought in a war, but it's because he was
Yeah.
wow.
Wait, what movie is Vice about? Fuck.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Yeah. Not Dick Cheney.
McCain.
Oh yeah, because John McCain ran against. I fucking don't remember it.
God fucking knows.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, John McCain. So he's doing his thing, and yeah, war hero, quote unquote. But my takeaway from the article, I haven't read it in years, but my takeaway, the thing that like I carry with me about that article, is like, it's wild that we would entrust the U.S. government to somebody who presumably has horrendous PTSD and has seen like violence and like, you know, on the one hand, oh, that guy's perfect. He's going to want to avoid it at all costs. And he understands the implications of war. On the other hand, this is a guy who's probably like, could be down.
Yeah.
And there's probably a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Yeah. You've bred somebody to understand it and sometimes like it. Mm-hmm. And you've also given them a bloodlust.
I mean, we're making huge presumptions here, but I mean, it's not a stretch. I don't think
it's not a stretch because it's identifiable in other people who are not in politics.
Right.
There are millions upon millions of veterans who have that exact same feeling.
Woo. Scary.
I recently saw this TikTok. It's that trend, you know, where they go, we're girls, blah, 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 whatever. But they're doing, we're poli-sci majors. And the joke is that one of them is like, of course we know too much about this era. And then this one girl's like, so, you know, you just can't think about the fact that somebody can just at any point launch a nuclear bomb. And then they're like, you can't say that. Don't say that. And she's like, no, really. Like, Nixon was an alcoholic. JFK was an alcoholic. They just all have access to all this stuff. Some of them are mentally impaired. And she just goes on this spiral. But it's all true, you know?
Yeah.
It's that exact same idea. That same thing how when George Washington was president, it was because he was general in the Revolution, and they were like, "We have so much respect for this guy. He led us." And that's just kind of been the tradition carried on. Like,
right.
There are very few presidents who haven't been in war, and why are we doing that? As an example, obviously there are so many other things that could be affecting a person.
Yeah, fuck. Was our boy Jimmy C a veteran?
I'm leaning towards no, but I don't know.
Dude, that story really depresses me.
What about his presidency?
Yeah, that he was like cut short.
Yeah.
And that he actively avoided war. That's so cool.
And what's crazy is that there's moments in current like of like the relations of the presidents now where it seems like they just don't like him. Like, there was a moment where there was some kind of ceremony, and all of the former presidents took Air Force One except him. And like there have been moments where like I think when somebody that Jimmy Carter knew died, and it was like a family member or something, and Obama didn't go. Like there are like moments where they just kind of like rebuff him, where whatever you could talk about etiquette and all this kind of stuff, but amongst the 5 living presidents or former presidents, whatever, you would think that would kind of be like the respectful thing to do. Like there are moments to show him a lot of respect, and they just don't.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's very like cliquish among them.
Ew.
Yeah.
Everything is high school.
Sure.
Like at every level.
Yeah.
It's high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Even the fucking presidents.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
It's really crazy.
Fuck. I don't know anything about politics.
Neither do I.
I'm really scared about this next election. I like don't know what. So it's Biden?
You mean, is he running?
Yeah.
I believe so. It's really...
I mean, I guess that's better than Trump.
I guess. I mean, here's the...
I don't know anything.
I don't know. I'm constantly trying to walk the line as far as, like... In a cowardly way, I do think about when I should say certain things. So, basically, my point is that Trump and Biden each have a thing that they will absolutely not budge on. And if elected, it's still really fucked for America. So it's kind of just like you really are kind of like, you know, kind of doing a little pick and choose, especially.
What are the things they won't budge on?
I don't think that Biden will, especially if reelected. I don't think that he would figure out the United States part in Palestine.
Eye roll.
And also,
but we have a part though.
Absolutely.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. And also, I don't think... Well, Trump has said it, and then also Ron DeSantis has said it. Not that he has a chance of winning, but like there's a whole thing where the Republicans that support Trump anyway are like, if he runs, we'll drop out. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis have said this. Also, it could be Nikki Haley, who's just a fucking nutcase.
I don't know anything about them. Her.
She's out of Arizona, I believe, and she's very much a person that's like, we need to stop saying like America's racist, and yeah, I believe she's also behind going to Mexico, which Ron DeSantis wants to do. Ron DeSantis wants to go into Mexico.
Wait, what does that mean?
Go into Mexico? There's this pitch that I believe Mexico has lithium, so there are Republicans who want to go there and take the lithium and like literally want to start a war with Mexico.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's really stupid.
That's fucking stupid.
It's really stupid.
That... Oh my God.
On top of...
This is why I don't read the news. I think... Oh my God. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
With Mexico?
Yeah.
Are they stupid?
I mean, yeah.
From like a purely selfish capitalist, like America is great perspective, this is stupid because I'm going to sound like an asshole. If we attack Mexico, that leaves us vulnerable to the rest of the world that presumably hates us right now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm fucking Russia and I find out America's attacking Mexico, I'm like, perfect. Let me fuck America right in the ass.
Sure. I do think it's a slippery slope to really horrible repercussions.
What the fuck did Mexico do?
Have lithium in the ground, I guess.
I'm sure they're down to sell it.
Who knows?
Fucking A.
That
is crazy.
Also, on top of DeSantis and Trump want to, like their whole first 90-day plan is making it illegal to perform gender-affirming healthcare.
What?
Yeah. So, literally...
Oh my God.
Like, doctors could go to federal prison and things like that.
Oh my God. They're fucking idiots. Once again, in the most America's great capitalist pig fucking mindset, they're losing out on a huge market. I work in medical insurance. Gender affirming surgery is a little moneymaker.
Yeah.
Okay? What the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah.
That is so dumb. That is so... Oh my God. The other thing that's like, it's so insane about that too is when I first started my job, I was really nervous about that stuff. I was like, oh my God, am I really gonna have to like advocate for people for like gender affirming surgeries and stuff? And they've got, and here's the thing that's actually kind of, I mean, it's cool. They have like specific protocols in place for gender affirming surgery, and all the doctors, regardless of their specialty, are trained in it. And it's pretty wild. It's like pretty like cut. And it's like, this is covered. Like it's just like anything else. Anything else. It's treated that way. So it feels like such a step backwards for them. That is crazy.
Yeah.
The first 90 days?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're really just trying to appease to the lowest common denominator. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's one of those things I remember when the abortion statistics were coming out too, where actually most of America does not care. Like genuinely.
Right.
All the studies that have been done, it's at the very least like a 60-40 kind of percentage where the majority of America genuinely does not care about that kind of stuff. And a lot of times it comes down to it'll be a solid majority is pro, a solid amount is con, and then there'll be a large subsect, usually around like 10 to 20%, that's like, don't care. Could not give a shit either way.
Fucking A, man.
Which is crazy.
When's the next round of voting?
For presidents?
Or just in
What do you
general? Isn't there like a primary coming up or something?
There's
I'm so
some...
bad.
I know there's some little stuff coming up in March,
I
like
just got stuff in the mail. That's why I'm
council members and things like that.
Fuck, I need to be better about that.
I know. I definitely can't. I definitely don't keep up on my local elections.
Yeah, the local stuff is terrible. The thing that's really wild is the place where I live.
Right.
The coffee shop just down the block. They're like my neighborhood. They meet like once a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really cool.
Is it like a town hall kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or they just meet private?
Yeah,
Oh, so
yeah.
That's cool.
And they're like the local politics stuff out here it's strong. It's cool. But yeah. Anyway, Jesus Christ, what a start to the episode. Fuck.
I know, and I can do some fact checking on this because it's all very fuzzy for me. But these are my general.
I mean, if these are your general like understanding, like even that is bad.
Yeah.
Even that is shitty. The fact that you like garnered any of this from something is like, oh, that's not good. You know? Because like, if you're wrong, you're not going to be wrong in the sense that, oh, actually they're not doing
love
that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That's not how you're going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
I also it seems like the Democratic Party doesn't really have anybody else geared up.
Yeah, that is what feels so insane.
I can't think of anybody else who might be running.
And again, I don't know anything. I don't keep up.
Oh, Gavin Newsom wants to run. I know that.
Wait, like California?
California. Yeah.
Isn't he a fuckhead?
He's an idiot. The things that he's really bad on, he's really bad on.
Fucking A.
But I'm sorry.
No. I because like my like head in the sand fucking perception is that the Democrats are really just banking on like, we already got Biden in there. It's gonna be a piece of cake. And
there's a giant looming question that I think we can all think of that would supremely fuck us.
Yeah.
We're putting all our chips on this guy. And there's no backup.
On this guy who is 15 to 20 years younger than Jimmy Carter.
Right.
Fucking A.
And it's not like how it is now where should that happen, he's got a vice president. His vice president wasn't even in the primaries back when she ran. It's going to go about as well as it did then. Especially now, she hasn't even done anything. Except, like, go to Mexico, go to the border and not do anything good.
God, this is insane.
We can talk about something else.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
I just have so many American president fun facts, and I got us down a really bad
There's some
roll.
doozies in there. Yeah, I'm into it.
There's a lot of fun stuff.
But we'll return to this.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name's Ari Wojciech,
My name's Casey Young.
and this is...
The Ticket.
Thank you for being here. This is our 13th episode. Ooh,
Spooky, scary.
What's
scarier than the state of America right now? The state of some other places, but also it's bad here.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, I mean, it's all, like, reflective of, you know... Like, if America... Like... Yeah, I don't know.
I know what you mean. Like if a
Like where
what are
is
we
good?
called? Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But yeah. So this is the ticket. Episode 13. Spooky, but it's February, and the groundhog saw his shadow.
He sure did.
So
He did. I can't. I don't
so
even remember
spring
what
comes
it was.
early.
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. I like Groundhog Day, the movie.
I like it too.
Yeah. It actually kind of frightened me as a kid.
I like the emotions it delves into.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. If you repeated today, what would be the first skill that you would go after?
Right now, something that I'm working on where every day is different, is like time management. So I meant to work out this morning and I didn't. So probably the first thing I would do tomorrow would be work out.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're
Like I know he does some little things, and
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like life actually has meaning. And look, I don't know the big thing, but I think if I did today over again, I'd be like, no, get out of bed, don't look at Instagram.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you're thinking like really? Yeah. No, I would have gotten up earlier, and I similarly would have worked out.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, you didn't work out?
I didn't work out. Well, I tap danced and I did like my vocal
Oh, nice.
exercises and worked on a monologue, but nobody wants to, and applied for a job.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we'll see. I wrote a cover letter and everything.
Oh, ew.
And
Cover letters need to be gone.
I don't know. I
personally don't.
I am in a position where I'm grateful for it because I'm applying to jobs that have nothing to do with what I've been doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And yeah. I like today I applied to be like a assistant to development coordination for like Lionsgate or
Oh, wow. Cool.
And I mean it's like a minimum wage job, but
Oh.
like entry level. But it would be something I am excited about,
Mhm.
you know. And yeah, just my resume doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They're
I know that.
like, who is this nurse? You
Yeah.
know? So the cover letter was like an exciting opportunity to be like, hey, actually, blah, 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 blah.
Sure. Nice.
And like I of course put like my producing stuff on my resume as well. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to clarify stuff in a cover letter.
That's a good point.
But it always takes longer than I think it's going to.
Oh, yeah.
Like that one application took me like 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to like revamp my resume because I didn't really have a resume geared towards that stuff, and yeah. But
Yeah. When I redo my resumes, I usually make like 2 or 3 different ones.
Mhm.
Whatever.
yeah, I just can't. It's just like par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just takes forever. That's exciting. What do you do to work out?
I just do like some dumbbell stuff and cardio.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
What kind of cardio? That's so annoying. I love talking about this shit.
No. I don't do anything extensive usually when it's not raining. I'll take like a brisk walk around my my complex because I live in a gated community and I can do like I've kind of figured out to where about is a mile like a walk.
Mm-hmm.
So I may do that once or twice.
Dude, walking, amazing.
Underrated.
It is underrated. Like walking, it can be such a game changer.
It's like really I because my whole thing is that I on top of like things that make working out uncomfortable, I also am just really lazy. And the more and more I research, I realize just how easy it is and how quickly the results will come. Like that's another thing. I don't like the idea that I can't see the product of the work that I've done. Mm-hmm. But I've done all these like plans and every single time I'll be like, oh man, I don't want to do this. This is really hard, whatever. And I see that in the time I spent going, oh, I don't want to do this, I would have had the results that I wanted had I just done it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
time.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm just like, just do it. It doesn't, especially the way like I do things, it doesn't really have a huge effect on my life.
The what and you don't have to answer this, of course.
Mm.
What results are you opting for?
I think most of our listeners are my friends, or our friends, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So as in they've seen me in person. I'd like to drop some weight. I think, especially what it is that I think I have the benefit of being a man where I can have a little bit of gut weight and people won't like treat me like garbage.
Sure.
But I just have like weight in places I don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd like a lot of my dumbbell workouts are upper body things. So I'd like to have like a leaner kind of top half.
Gotcha.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, body composition is such a trip.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But I also like that a lot of the things that I want are achievable at home. I don't really need a gym membership or anything like that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. I don't have a gym membership, and
Well, you've got a gym in your house.
that's true. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
You've got an extensive set. I have 2 dumbbells and a kettlebell.
Oh, dude,
that's
kettlebell, like, that's really all
Kettlebell's
you need.
game changer,
Yeah,
yeah.
kettlebells are wild.
Great.
I don't have any back pain anymore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think
Nice.
when I started like squatting and doing kettlebell swings,
Nice.
that was the game changer.
I told you about my chronic back pain, didn't I? The water slide.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Crazy.
Fuck. Are you in pain right now?
Yeah, but I'm always in pain, so
Fuck, man.
it's not too bad.
Have you ever tried hanging? I know this is annoying. I'm being like an annoying.
We were like just from a bar. Or something?
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
That's how.
In
That
your
helps.
just research it in your research.
Sure. Nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We're
No, I
about
mean,
to
that's
venture,
interesting.
We're about to venture into annoying self-help pseudoscience territory. But yeah, look up hanging.
Cool.
Like just a dead hang. Yeah, there's maybe some benefits for you.
Nice.
Anywho, my question for you today.
Is it a spooky question?
It's not.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Yeah, I like really dropped the ball with the 13th episode.
I'll make my answer spooky.
Okay.
However, I can answer it in a really spooky way.
No.
Well, I was watching Dracula, and that really gave me the idea.
Yeah,
that,
there you go. Were you?
No,
Oh.
but I do like Dracula.
I haven't seen the Boris Karloff.
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi. Boris
Oh, yeah.
Karloff is the monster.
Yeah, he's Frankenstein.
God damn it.
He's also the mummy.
And he's also the mummy. That's right. He's the two.
Yeah,
And Bela Lugosi's just Dracula.
just Dracula. Yeah.
And then Claude Rains is the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
I love. That's my favorite
He's great.
one.
It's my favorite one too.
Yeah.
I also like the Wolfman though.
You know,
Wolfman and
I've never seen the Wolfman actually.
It's good.
I should watch that.
It's very fun to think about. Like, I'm usually not a person that thinks about or really cares about what subtext there may be in older films, because I am of the opinion that sometimes people, it's about whatever is individual to you, but there's a lot of scholars and people who hold a large opinion where they read subtext into film where I actually think that they're missing the actual context, things like that, like the intended kind of. But Wolfman is one where it's just like, what if you got to be so horny you became a monster? Like, it really does feel like it's about sexual repression.
Oh,
which is
interesting.
fun, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. The one I always think of where everybody's always like the subtext is Invasions of the Body Snatchers.
What's the subtext behind that one?
The Red Scare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's always like, I fucking know.
I see that.
Yeah.
It's some of it just feels obvious, like where I go, yeah, that probably is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people go to judo. It's about this. It's like it probably is. That's not a.
You know, and then this is actually my favorite thing about the original Godzilla
Mhm.
is that it is so overt. It's just this is about the bombing. Like
Sure.
there's no question, and I think that actually helps and makes it way more devastating. God.
Yeah.
Anyway, my question is about movies actually.
Oh, cool. I love movies.
So we're on this journey. Like what? If we're making a top 250 list,
Mm-hmm.
and like the last time we talked about like what qualifies as a good movie or a great movie, like worthy of being on this list, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I realized, I think we need to step back and like, if you were to make one list,
Mm-hmm.
like the list,
Mm-hmm.
why? Like, what is this list for? And I think we kind of got into this where you were like, I said stuff about like these lists are important because they can be a jumping off point for somebody who like hasn't been into movies and suddenly is into movies or whatever. And I think you mentioned like, so yeah, for somebody who doesn't watch a lot of movies, like I would make this list, yeah, it's like, why, what is the motivation behind this list?
Yeah, I think it would depend on.
Sorry,
sure.
one more thing.
No.
What is the motivation behind this list? And what is the motivation about like the best list? Like
sure.
Yeah. Like, what's the best motivation for the best list? Yeah, I guess is the question.
Sure. I think it would depend on because I can think of probably like 3 or 4 different reasons as to why I would make a top 250 list and why they would all be different. You know what I mean? So if I was making a list for This Is the Ticket, then I'd probably come up with 250 movies that probably not a lot of people have seen.
Gotcha.
If I was making my top 250, I would keep it as true to myself as possible. And then there would probably be a version where I get rid of the obvious, like Apocalypse Now wouldn't be on it. Probably Scream wouldn't be on it.
Oh, interesting. Like get rid of the obvious.
Yeah, okay. Where it's not even necessarily movies that not a lot of people have seen, but where I go, you know about this movie already. Or you may not expect that I really like it. Like Mean Girls the Musical will probably be on it. Where I go, oh, hey, you probably don't know that I love this movie,
Yeah. And sorry, I'm really struggling with these questions because I'm like, what am I trying to like get? But I just feel like inclined to investigate this. But I love this idea of like not the obvious, and like that being a list, and maybe and I think one of the reasons I was so spurned to start talking about this is because when I saw the Letterboxd Top 250, there's a lot of familiar faces on there with the AFI list, with IMDb, blah 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 blah. And yeah, it's like what like. Yeah, and like not to say that those movies don't deserve to be on there, but yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting because I feel like all these lists have a different purpose, right? Like the AFI, what is it, 100 years, 100 movies? That's just something that they do. Like it's just like they get the opinions of people at the time. And make this list. Like I really like 100 Years, 100 Stars, I think, where they do 50 women, 50 men of like the 20th century.
Cool.
I really like that. And then you've got like what is it? Sight and Sound. They do that over a closer amount of time, I think. And then everybody gets to pick like multiple things like that. And then what I like about that as well is that Sight and Sound comes out with the list, but that you can read what people submitted.
Oh, in addition to like what got to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I like IMDb. That seems to be more like a general consensus. I think more people use IMDb than Letterboxd. And then Letterboxd always feels like a little bit more curated. I think Letterboxd in general skews more towards older films and foreign films than maybe the IMDb top 50 would.
Yeah, that is true.
And that those are all user generated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the IMDb top 250 is just people who have rated the top 200. This is just what the ratings come out to.
Right.
As well as Letterboxd.
Yeah. And like hearing you talk and like, yeah, to me it's like these lists are at their best when I am finding something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And I think that is the best reason to do something like this, to broaden a person's not necessarily appreciation, but like awareness of a medium.
Sure. Yeah.
And I guess, but then this gets tricky because suddenly, are we like does popularity become a disqualifier? You know.
Yeah.
And is that not fair? I mean, but it's not like there's no like fairness. We're not like great. There's not money on the line. But yeah, it's like. So what? Yeah, I guess what's a popular movie that's not typically on these lists that would absolutely be on yours, and it's not polarizing. It's like across the board, people are like, "No, this movie rocks."
What came to my mind, which I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm not necessarily that passionate about it, like because of this, because it's so popular, because people like it. But also, I do notice that, in general, rom-coms are avoided.
Yep.
I think When Harry Met Sally would be on my list.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great answer. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think everybody likes When Harry Met Sally. It's a great movie. It's kind of like the pinnacle of its genre. Everybody involved is famous. They're talented. Like, there's kind of no reason. A lot of people have seen it.
Right.
Even if you don't like it. There's kind of no reason to not have it on a list like that.
Yeah.
It genuinely does seem to be genre bias.
Yeah. And I think that's an instance where popularity being a disqualifier would get in the way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Man.
What about you?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm really struck by this like genre bias, which is definitely prevalent.
Yeah.
Like, even in the Letterboxd 250, I don't think. I'm trying to think of like horror movies that I saw in there.
Sure.
Horror just gets a bad rap across the board, I think.
It's so crazy because we have mutual friends that I've spoken to, and they go, you know, I always used to discount horror, and they go, but it's always a metaphor for something else. I'm like, yeah, it is always a metaphor for something else. It's been that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. And people go, oh, well, I don't really like gore, and there's so many different types, you know.
Right.
Friend of the podcast, Aubrey, we were just talking about Alien, and she was like, I don't really like horror, so that's why I like Aliens more than Alien.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And that's a thing where Alien is like one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And it doesn't really have any gore, and most of it is just like dialogue, character-based things.
Yeah.
And
so
also
much of
it's terrifying.
Shadow.
Yeah.
God damn it, that movie's amazing.
I mean, God, you've got your slashers, you've got your gross out, you've got your sci-fi, psychological, your thrillers, your ghosts and haunted houses, and like there's so many things. I think people think that horror is just one thing, and it's just anything that can scare you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's way more nuanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Reanimator and Rosemary Baby are both horror movies is insane.
That is wild. Yeah. Or like Hostel and Hereditary.
Those fuckers. Yeah.
Those fucking guys.
Exactly. But yeah, horror does get a bad rap. In retrospect.
So yeah, that's why this like it's so funny because it's like trying to build a list with discovery in mind, while also championing the medium. You know. Yeah, popularity as a disqualifier, and then like I don't think that works, and then just being mindful of genre. You know, and not disqualifying because of genre. Sorry, I'm like talking in circles.
No, I'm listening.
For me, a popular movie that is like not polarizing, but isn't typically on those lists. Huh. Shit, man. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. That's a tough question. Because like all of my like obvious choices like the first one, like, oh my god, the first one that comes to mind, you're gonna roll your eyes. Is
Miami Vice.
No. I don't think I would put Miami Vice on my top 2. Well, maybe.
What?
I. Oh man, that's.
I have opinions about that, Ari.
That's,
You love Miami
I
Vice.
do love Miami Vice. And like in terms of what? Yeah. So it's so funny. Yeah, because this is what we're talking about.
Oh no, you're doing it.
I'm doing it. Yeah. No, yeah. I guess I would put Miami Vice on there. I also think.
I hope so.
Like in terms of discovery, I think Miami Vice is just such a fun example of what like a movie can be.
Sure.
Like Miami Vice has ingredients that you are very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a pre-existing property.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 movie stars in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about drugs and cops undercover, and it takes place in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these elements. It's got an insane soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
With shit you recognize,
Mm-hmm.
like sports cars, fucking, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it is such a weird movie. It's a bizarre. It's taking all of those ingredients and doing something weird, doing something funky.
I always view it like
on there.
I'm glad. I want you to.
Thank you.
I always think about it like even if say a movie is popular, like Miami Vice is moderately popular, I'd say if you didn't think about watching this movie before I recommended it to you, let my recommendation be that for you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I do think that as well, you know, and it's probably because a lot of people make fun of me for it, but I like to watch most movies. Any movie that I've heard of, I practically want to watch it.
Sure.
And I think that there's so much to find, whether it be the entire thing or like little pieces that you like. And that's something like we all have preconceived notions before we go into something. And it's just like, I promise, like there are certain movies where I just go, I promise what you think about it is wrong. I promise that when you watch it, you will see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
You know?
And I think that spirit behind a list like this
Mm-hmm.
can be so exciting. And I guess my suspicion with all of these lists by consensus, it's like, I think those lists would turn out different if you were compiling everybody having this attitude.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
But yeah. But like, so yeah, I would put Miami Vice on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think twice about Heat.
Okay.
Which I think just like, if you just look objectively at like the audience scores and like everything, Heat is the better movie, quote unquote. But, and to be clear, I am a Michael Mann simp. Yeah. I like Heat.
Yeah.
But I don't think it needs to be on that list.
Sure.
You know, like I don't think like it's had its day, you know. And I think it is in the top 250 of Letterboxd, I think.
I don't remember, but sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And
I think it's also really interesting when you have a director that's doing something interesting.
Yes.
Like if you think that Heat's his best film, great. I love Thief, another one that's very well regarded.
Great. Yeah. Thief is so good.
Manhunter's very well regarded.
Dude, yeah. I love Manhunter.
And then you go, this guy that made these great movies also made a movie that a lot of people don't like. You should probably watch that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Dude, yeah. No,
I find it interesting.
Yeah. I think that's a fun exercise. Especially when you can like find something to champion in it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You're a big Wes Craven guy, presumably?
Uh-huh. Wes Craven's one of my favorite directors.
What's his like most underrated that you're like obviously see Scream and all this stuff, but it's like a shame that more people don't watch this.
You know a movie that I think is really, really great, and it's kind of and it can get kind of icky because there's a whole, it has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing going with it, where it for the time it makes a lot of sense. Whatever, it just has a lot of skewed politics that a lot of people wouldn't like now. But a movie that I really like that I find very scary is The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's 2.
Wes Craven's one.
Wes Craven's, is that the newest one? That's not the newest
that's
one.
Old. That's the first one.
The first one. Okay. I remember, I've only seen the new one.
And that's fine. I haven't seen
It's fine.
it. Okay.
I just remember there's like this trope of like man rescues woman, woman falls in love with man.
Is that in the new one? I'm trying to remember if it's in the old one.
In the new one, spoilers for Hills Have Eyes. In the new one, it's his wife, him and his wife, their 2 kids, and then the wife's younger, hotter sister. The wife dies, and then him and the younger sister like hook up. Which I remember at that time in my life, that happening, I was like, eye roll, like dumb.
Sure.
But I don't know, maybe.
I'm trying to remember if that happens in the old one because that does kind of sound familiar.
Yeah.
It may be also that they don't necessarily fall in love, but that that they're kind of just like, well, now it's just us. Like they've probably survived.
Yeah,
or something,
I might.
and
You know,
like,
I think that might be in the new one too. But
I mean, that's kind of where the Hollywood goes anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. I just remember like the implications of like what their future was together. I was just like, ugh. But
because I believe it's probably the same thing where you said they had 2 young kids. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think so. Or like one.
I think in the old one it's a baby, so it's him, her, and the baby.
Oh wow.
And then you kind of go, oh sure, well that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the new nuclear family or whatever.
Right. Which could be a commentary because it's really all a big commentary about the nuclear family anyway.
Horror.
It could make nuclear families horror.
No. I mean like.
Oh, it's about something else. Yeah. Yes.
Like
yeah.
The horror genre doing something.
Yeah. I mean, you have the perfect American family. They break down and they're attacked by the outsiders of society, and then the people who survive just happen to be a man, woman, and small child. That
America loves that.
Yeah.
Fuck. There was something.
I'm sorry
that I forgot.
You were asking me if I'm a Wes Craven guy.
Oh yeah. But Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
So that would go on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also like Red Eye. I think Red Eye is really good.
Whoa, Cillian Murphy.
Dude,
that movie is good.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, I saw that in high school. It took a girl
when it came out
on a date there. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a.
It's wow. I think Wes. I really like Wes Craven, and I find it very interesting that he could do something like that. Like I think his movies are so wide in scope, and up until that point, I feel like he had only been making like these suburban movies, like about suburbia, things like that. In some kind of way, like I think The Hills Have Eyes is also kind of about that. So then to have a movie that's basically one location, and that she's like, oh great, I made it off the plane. Spoilers for Red Eye.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, oh, I mean, obviously he doesn't kill her on the plane. I don't even know. I hate spoilers, so I should be more respectful of that. But where she goes, oh, great, I made it off the plane, and that he still makes it back to her 2-bedroom house to attack her and her father.
That's right. Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Who plays her father?
I want to say Jon Voight, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's somebody that you're like, oh.
You go, oh, that guy's in this.
That guy's in everything. I love. He kind of is though.
Jon Voight is in everything.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like,
yeah.
why is
what are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't get. I guess he was like a sexy guy. I don't see it.
Everybody talks about how sexy he is, and that's like the whole point of Midnight Cowboy. I do not think that he's sexy.
Yes, I don't. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then people talk about him like he aged really well. And like he doesn't look like awful,
right.
But I'm not like, ooh,
right.
Silver Fox,
And then what's so funny is that people go, Angelina Jolie looks just like him. Yeah, but she's hot. She got like the hot.
Yeah.
She made all this stuff about him hot. That's not that he is hot as well. That's not how that works.
That always trips me out that they are related.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like I don't know. He's not comparable to like Robert Redford.
No.
I mean, we're being shitty just talking about people like this, but I mean, whatever. He's fine. Jon Voight's fine. I'm sure he's on his yacht somewhere. That being said, I love him in Heat. I think he's so good in that movie. I think like he's every time I watch that movie, I'm like, he is just so like, I don't know, man. I love his performance in that movie so much.
I love that for you.
Thank you. But yeah. And I'm sorry, like, I feel like I need to apologize to the listeners. I feel like I'm trying to answer these questions about movies and not really finding concrete answers. And I think that's like kind of part of the point. I think, I think my point is that it's just like,
I mean, there are no concrete answers.
Yeah, it's just, I think there's so many factors that go into this. And I think so much of my life, to this day, I get embarrassed about what I like. Mm-hmm. And I feel pressured to like certain things. And yeah, I am loving this idea of curating a list as expression, but also as a tool for people to discover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna recommend somebody a movie I don't like, because I feel like that's useless. Even if I think that it's more of their taste, that's not who I am.
Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Casey. This is great. Yeah. So I think we're kind of figuring out this list. So this list is a form of expression, of your personal expression, and this list is an opportunity for, I guess, let's make it even more specific, people in your life to discover something new.
Sure.
And that's where we're going to leave it for now. But we'll be back, everybody.
Are we? If I understand correctly, this is gearing us up towards our own top 250.
Gosh, I don't know actually. Yeah. I think this was really bred out of just a little teaser for our listeners. We're gonna have some Oscar things coming up, and I think it just got me down that path.
Okay.
Well, how do we qualify these things? But I think eventually, Cool. But I think that's like a big undertaking. I don't think we should just... I mean, again, that's why I want to have these conversations.
I could do it, but
yeah.
I'm constantly thinking about that.
I love that. But I think we'll get there. Maybe that'll be our anniversary episode.
Okay. That sounds fun. And I'll keep that in mind.
Should that be it? Or maybe the 250th episode. A movie for every episode.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we don't have to... Anyway, we'll get there.
250 episodes. That's like in a year and a half. That's a bit away.
250?
Yeah, we're only at 13, and it's been months. It's been like 6 months since we started.
Yeah, I don't think it's 2.5 years.
I would say a year and a half. You think it's a year and a half?
To get 250? Oh no, you're saying we're at a year and a half. No, we're not.
No. I was saying in a year and a half we'll probably be around when our 250th episode is. So two weeks, so 52 weeks. So that's
26 episodes a year.
Thanks. So that can't be 10 years away. It can't be.
Oh yeah, it's 9
years. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay, so maybe not for our 250th episode.
You don't think I'm gonna be doing this in 9 years?
No, I just mean that's a long way away.
Yeah, it gives us time to think.
I've been thinking of this one for 9 years.
Damn. Okay, here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
When we reach episode 10, we'll do top 100.
Episode 100, you mean? We've done 10 episodes.
Oh, we've done 10 episodes. I'm being dummy. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out what number you might be.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
But you did mean 10.
Oh, yeah, I did mean 10. Ari's having he's a stroke. Yeah, so we passed 10. Okay, so our next benchmark, 25. Top 25 is.
I thought 25 was. I think 25 was a good idea.
Yeah. So when we get to episode 25, all the 25 was. When we get to episode 50, episode 100.
So.
And then 250.
Is our top 25, so we do a top 25, then we do a top 50. Is this a new 50, or is it a 25 additional onto our...
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm so excited.
I know. I love movies.
Same. Fuck. Speaking of which, happy 13th episode, everybody. Today, we have a spooky edition of Criterion Casey. Take it away.
So I believe you asked me.
Casey. This sounds bad.
Maybe.
I'm not
It doesn't offend me, but I do wonder.
Yeah, the instant that came out of my mouth, I was like, no.
Actually, I'm sorry, real quick. Can I use the bathroom?
Oh yeah, scary.
Let's do it.
And we're back.
And we're back. Little pee break.
Little P. Rick,
So
take care of your bathroom self.
so true. Your kidneys are important.
Spooky Casey.
Spooky Casey. Scary Casey.
Scary Casey.
Okay, so I believe that you asked me to share my favorite horror film that is not in the Criterion Collection.
That you think should be in the
That I think should be in the
Yeah,
Criterion.
yeah.
Because right now it's a totally killer.
Oh!
I really, it's probably, I mean, I can think of, I have a favorite.
Make a case.
Make a case?
Yeah.
I don't know if it can go in the Criterion.
Totally
Collection.
Criterion.
Okay, make a case.
You don't have to. But
No,
you seem so stoked on it.
I like it a lot. I think here's my big thing. It's like if Back to the Future was a slasher, right? A lot of people get Scream vibes from it. I don't necessarily think that. But I do think it's very heavily Back to the Future. And they reference that multiple times where she's like, okay, I just came from the future. And they're like, what? And she's like, have you ever seen Back to the Future? And at that point, it's already come out, right? It's only recently come out. But they talk about that. And
that's cute.
And Nahnatchka Khan was talking about how she was basically like, which I think is so interesting. A lot of people who make time travel movies talk about this, where they're like, I want to play with the knowledge that you already have. Instead of trying to come up with a new way that time travel could work. It's just like, you go back in time, these are the rules.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The way I feel about it is that Back to the Future is a great movie. A lot of people think it's one of the best movies of all time. A lot of people, it's their favorite movie. Totally Killer is also a really good movie.
Hell yeah.
I think it's really funny. I think it plays with a lot of fun ideas. It does kind of tug at the heartstrings a little bit for me, anyway. I like the idea that with the time travel, you're examining the ways that culture has changed. Like there's a lot of stuff where she's like, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Oh, interesting.
And also, I think that it does a very good job at making them still all good people. Like, there's a great bit where Olivia Holt is like, "Wow, it sounds like you want to les out this weekend." And
you've told me about this. Actually.
I think it's so fucking funny. It's like my favorite joke of the movie. But where they're also like, I don't think that this is bad. I don't think that I'm saying this because this is what we say, but I don't necessarily think that these things, whatever they may be, are bad. I don't think that makes me a bad person. And that there's a moment where Kernan Shipka is looking at her mom, basically, right? And she's like, I can't believe you would do something like that. And where you have like, and these people evolved and changed over this 30-year period.
Right.
And that they're all still good people, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Which is something I really appreciate about it, because I do think that it's very easy to make a time travel movie and go, look at these fucking idiots. They used to do things like this.
Right.
Which is just so narrow-minded.
Sure.
I think the performances are really good. I think Olivia Holt's great.
Hell yeah.
She's one of my favorite performances of last year. I think that it's one. I think that there's like obviously varieties of performances and what make them good or bad, and I think that something that will always be, what my favorite type of performance is, where you play somebody like they're a real person,
yeah,
or that they could have been a real person. So I think she does a really good job of like playing with, which is also in the writing, of course, playing with like whatever kind of trope she may fulfill, while also seeming like a very intelligent, real teenage girl.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
Dude, this is a great pitch.
Thanks. I'm
for
glad.
Criterion. Yeah.
I'm glad.
I would watch that movie.
It's a lot of fun.
Is it streaming?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
It went straight to streaming, basically.
Oh, sad.
I know. Mean Girls was supposed to be on Paramount Plus. Did you know that? Mean Girls the musical.
Oh, and then they
made it a theater release.
I bet they are stoked on that. Actually,
It's a great idea.
yeah. I bet they're making. Because I'm wondering like, what do you lose with theatrical distribution?
I want to know
Like,
the actual numbers.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, like because I'm assuming it costs to like send the DCP to the theater.
Yeah,
and I'm sure the theater doesn't take a cut of ticket sales.
Right.
So what?
Right.
What is the loss? I don't understand. Anyway, okay, nice. Totally killer.
Totally killer.
What about what another Criterion is like? No, it's too new. Although they don't do that.
That's true. They don't do that. What if Criterion says Totally Killer's too new? Pick another one.
Yeah.
Angst. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say? Angst. Have you heard of this?
No.
I believe it's Dutch. It's this horror film, and it's about this. It's just about like this nasty, gross guy who is a serial killer, and he just kills a few people.
Fuck.
And he's just like, he's just gross. His car breaks down. He breaks into this house, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. And it's just, and really, it's one of those ones.
Dutch.
Yes, in Dutch. I don't know any Dutch. And it's one of those things like people talk about it with Man Bites Dog, that French film.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen it, but yes,
it's pretty good. It's one of those ones where it's like where you go, oh, I really am getting the perspective of this killer. Like a lot of it is just like it's just like I really like this, and he has some narration as well. Like it's just a nasty one.
That's interesting. Writing from the perspective of the killer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard.
Probably.
But Angst pulls it off.
I think so. It's what I like so much about it that I think a lot of people don't utilize in horror is that some stuff is just gross. Like blood and guts are gross, but also like I think he ties up this woman and like throws her in a bathtub and she's just kind of like squirming in the bathtub. That's gross. You know what I mean?
It sucks. Ugh, it's making me cringe.
And he's just gross. Like it's very obvious that he's not clean, and there are times where he's just like so rabid that like spit is flying out of his mouth. Like some of it's just gross,
Yeah, yuck.
And I think about that a lot as well. Like in real life, there are serial killers who are just like gross,
Yep.
I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Anyway, I like that movie. There's not really a lot else to it. I think it does a really good job of making like a really nasty movie.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds right up Criterion's alley.
Yeah,
it's like it does this one thing really well.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's got some great techniques and things like that, and I think that Criterion and a lot of people really like just something that's very focused and minimal, and I think it's only over the course of like a day and a half or something like that.
Cool. Angst.
I
have to check it out.
Gerald Carl. It's an 80s movie.
Oh shit. Okay, an 80s. Wow. Mm-hmm. I could not name you another 80s movie from.
Neither could I.
Deutschland. from Denmark.
What did I say was Dutch?
Yeah.
The Netherlands.
God damn it.
It's okay.
What are the? Oh, it's a Danish film.
Yeah, Danish. Yeah, Danes. Denmark.
A Netherlands film is a Dutch film.
Mm-hmm.
A person from the Netherlands is Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something new every day.
So true.
I did not. I legitimately did not know. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Dutch. I'm 99% sure it's Dutch.
No, I'm sure you're right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because from Denmark, it's Danish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a cheese, Danish.
Love them.
Okay, love it. Angst. Spine number.
I don't know, 2,000, whatever. 1,500, wherever we're at right now.
Right on. Well,
yeah, those are my.
no, it's great. I love it.
I hope that was
I love
exciting.
it. No,
for
that was
listeners.
great. Listeners, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much, guys. Sorry we talked about politics so much in the beginning.
Yeah, it's sorry that we don't know anything.
Yeah,
I mean, you know stuff.
I don't know. A lot of that could be incorrect, but I'm
I don't know anything.
It's very possible that people go, actually, that's not true, but I'm pretty close. I think that that's very
If there's stuff where you're like, actually, blah blah blah, please fucking email, message, whatever, yell at us on Instagram.
This is the ticket pod@gmail.com.
Yes, at this is the ticket.
At this is the ticket, yeah.
On Instagram. That's
On Instagram?
crazy. That
I'm glad we got that.
Yeah,
one.
that's pretty
I was
sick.
very happy about that.
Yeah. Let me read a poem for you.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting. It's not sad. Oh, actually, can you hand me that golden boy at the bottom?
Golden boy at the bottom. Do you mind holding this?
No. Ooh. Yeah. So our boy W.S. Merwin.
Hell yeah.
This is a Mountain Town by W.S. Merwin. My memory, the invisible buffalo, lumbers through the vacant street, considering the fences there, sorrows. And the lightning died in its mine, oh, it must be. Sometime back its name is written everywhere in faded dust. One of its gloves wheels on the sky over. The blind movie, and the station where the white train still attends. A bell that I hung on to as long as I could is about to arrive and start ringing.
Interesting.
It might be the most like yeah, that's the one that lost me the most.
I don't think I understand W.S. Merwin. You finish his poems and I go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I get him either. He's trying. I'm just so, again, it's that one line from that one poem that just really fucks with me. I think about it all the time.
Sure.
He has that line, all my teachers are dead now except silence.
Yeah.
And I think about that line a lot. And I keep coming back, WS.
What will he say next?
Yeah, but it's all lost on me so far. But apparently he's worthy of this massive collection. So, anywho, thanks all for being here. My name's Ari Wojciech,
My name's Casey Young.
and this is
The Ticket.
Woo.
Bye.